Hello, my name is Sir Remy, and today I'm back with another video. Today I would like to give you guys an update about my locals. I'm not really sure how I want to structure these videos, but I do want to keep track of my progress as I continue to play at locals. I'll be able to go more often, so I want to have some recording of what I did and talk about it and get some advice from the World Wide Web. So first, let me talk about the deck that I brought. Today I brought Pure Mitsurugi. Let me go over the deck profile real quick. I brought one Night Sword Serpent, 1 Mitsurugi Kusanagi, 3 Aramasa, 3 Saji, 2 Amino Murakumo, 1 Amino Habakiri, 1 Futsu, 1 Mitsurugi Mirror, 3 Mitsurugi Ritual, 3 Mitsurugi Prayers, 1 Mitsurugi Magatama, 1 Mitsurugi Great Purification, 3 Pre-Preparation of Rites, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Molcharmi Fuelos, 3 Molcharmi Perulia, 1 Druis Worm, 1 Magnahut, 1 Baldrake, 1 Nibiru, and 3 The Fallen and the Virtuous. 3 Albion the Branded Dragon, 1 Gallic Granite, 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 number 41, 1 Evil Swarm Exciton Knight, 1 number 90, 1 AA Zeus, 1 Typhon, 1 Dark the Dark Charmer, 2 Dynamondo, 1 IP and 1 SP, 1 Mitsurugi Wosu, 3 Molcharmi Meows, 2 Droll Lockbird, 1 Pot of Prosperity, 1 Triple Tactic Talent, 1 Triple Tactics Thrust, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Called by the Grave, 1 Solemn Judgment, and 3 Infinite Impermanence. So it had been a while since I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And I wanted to bring something simple and something I knew I had everything of. I had bought 3 of the legendary modern decks, so I knew I had everything I needed for Mitsurugi, and Mitsurugi is pretty flexible on how you could build it. So I was pretty comfortable just bringing a list and then adjusting it as time goes on. I might try a different deck next week or another day, but for now, I think I'm cool with Mitsurugi. So what were my decisions here? 1 Night Sword Serpent had been pretty standard. It's an extra body, but you don't want to see this in your hand. 1 Kusanagi, pretty good for recursion, but of course you don't want to see it in your hand. 3 Aramasa and 3 Saji. Now this is a little much, I believe. However, I felt good bringing the 3 Saji. 3 Aramasa and Pure has been standard from what I see. It's a great starter, 1 card combo, great extender, great to dump, but Saji is not a starter on its own, so I don't really see 3 of it. However, I really didn't want to run out of gas because that's the big thing with Pure Mitsurugi is running out of gas, and I felt pretty comfortable having brought 3 Saji. 2 Murakumo, I might bump this up to 3 if I end up replacing the Saji, but I felt like 1 was too little, and 3 I didn't want to break on this card. 1 Habakiri, because you have to. Run 3 if it was possible. 1 Futsu, Ken, you don't want to break on this card. Pretty good, but not as good as Murakumo. 1 Mirror, you don't want to break on this card, but it's pretty good. 3 Ritual. You definitely would like to have this in your hand, especially in a Droll situation. 3 Prayers. Amazing. Probably most important card in the deck to keep going, to get started going, to play around Droll so you can get something done in the draw phase. Magatama, just 1. Good card, but I definitely don't want to see this in my hand, and I only ever felt like the 1 came up anytime I used it. I never felt like I needed a second one. And 1 Purification. Great trap. Never felt like I needed more than 1, and again, I don't want to break. 3 Pre-Preparation of Rites. I don't know if I needed any more consistency, but I did enjoy the extra consistency. 3 Ash. Gotta stop the Molcharmies. Speaking of the Molcharmies, 3 Fulos and 3 Perulia. I brought Perulia in the main deck because I felt like it was going to be useful, and it actually did come up. Elf Note was a deck I played against. I'll talk about them more in a second, and this definitely helps against Elf Note. And then 1 of each of these guys. These 2 are limited. This guy you only really want 1 of. They were great. They put in work. I think I used a Bestial every single game, or almost every single game. The 1 Nibiru, it's searchable. It was running a little low on space. It was either between this and Called By, and since this was searchable, I chose this. 3 The Fallen and the Virtuous. I bought 3 of the Chronicle deck, so I had this, and it's a great board breaker. And with Albion, which is in the extra deck, so let me talk about this too. The Albion searches it. It can either set it or add it to hand, which is really great. You use 1 on your turn, go to end phase, set this so that on your opponent's turn, you got another one that you can use. Amazing. These 2 pair great together. Now, I ran 3. I see a lot of people just running 2, but I wanted to be able to use all 3 of these, and there was a circumstance where I ended up using all 3 of them. I know most people run 2 because 9 times out of 10, you're only ever going to need the 2, but I just feel more comfortable running 3 so that I can use all of them. Gallant Granite, just to search Nibiru. Tornado Dragon, to deal with spell and traps. I did end up using this card. Maguska, Floodgate. I didn't end up using it, but I felt like there were circumstances where I probably should have. Exciton Knight, Monster Negate. I felt like there was a lot of circumstances where I could have made Exciton Knight and then just got into Fiendsmith combo, but I don't have the cards for Fiendsmith. Number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. You can use 2 of your level 8 rituals and make this guy. Did not make him. I'll explain more on that later, but if I did make him, I'm sure he would have been pretty useful. Zeus. I got all these Xyzs over here. I'm sure I'll make one and attack with it, which I did, but I didn't end up going into Zeus. There was some situations where I really wanted to go into Zeus, but it was just not the opportune situation. Typhon deals with all these big bodies. Dark the Dark Charmer. I got so many darks up in here. It just makes sense if I'm playing against a deck that also runs dark. I almost came up one time. I just couldn't quite get the card I wanted in the grave on my opponent's board, so that way I could take it. Dynamondo. I'm running 2 of these guys. I felt like 2 is good if it came up. It never came up, so I might cut this down to 1. IP and SP just generically good cards, especially with the specific end board here. I always see these cards on the end board. Wosu. It's a kaiju. That's about it. Yeah, it's a really good kaiju. That's why it's only 1. It's in the side deck. Maybe I'll put it in the main deck if I cut down on the Sajis for pure, but it felt like I needed it occasionally, so I definitely wanted it there. 3 Meows, just in case I came up against something that was graveyard heavy. This is local, so I didn't know what was coming up. I haven't played in so long, I didn't know what all I should expect. 2 Droll to shut down all the meta stuff. Well, it doesn't shut it down, but with Dracotone not around, more cards add to hand than set. Oh, sorry, more decks add to hand than set. Pot of Prosperity, just extra consistency if it looks like I needed it going first. Triple Tech, Talents, Thrust, and Harpies to deal with threats. If I got hand trapped, I was searching this, or I was searching this, or I was searching the Pot of Prosperities. This actually did come up with the talents. Thrust came up once, but I don't actually have a very good thrust target to sets. I should have thought about that in case my opponent didn't have a monster on the board. Called by the Grave. If I'm not going to use Nibiru, I'm probably going to put in Called by the Grave, especially going first, or against a deck that just doesn't care about Nibiru. Solemn Judgment. Great for going first. There's only one that you can play. I could play the other guys, but I didn't feel like playing the other Solemn cards. And 3 Infinite Impermanence, just a generically good hand trap. I just prefer the hand traps and board breakers I have in the main deck over this card. I would only take them out if, let's say, knew I was going first, then I would take out the Mold Charmies for Infinite Impermanence. So my overall decision making, I talked a little bit about the number of monsters I got here. Felt like I would have ran out of gas a lot of times if I didn't have the 3 Sajis. However, when I was activating the Mold Charmy cards, I kept seeing Mitsurugi cards. Like, I just had so many of them in my hand. I felt like that wouldn't have been a problem if I didn't run so many of the Sajis. But at the same time, sometimes I felt like if I didn't have the Sajis, I was either going to run out of gas, or if I activated a Mold Charmy, I would have all the cards in my hand that I would want in the deck. The Bestials were amazing, as I said earlier. The only thing with these guys is that I realized while playing, if I'm playing the Bestials and I'm playing Mitsurugi, I might as well have played Chaos Angel. I don't know why I wasn't playing Chaos Angel. That's probably going to replace the second Dynamondo. But that just made sense. There were so many times where I could have made Chaos Angel, especially with Druiswurm, and it would have been really, really good. And I just looked at my action deck and I was like, dang, why didn't I think of that? Now I gotta go search for my Chaos Angel. My stuff is a mess. So I'm glad I was able to put this together because I hadn't opened the Mitsurugi structure yet. I had opened the Sky Striker one and the X Saber one, but I had not opened this one yet, so I'm glad I did because otherwise I would have been super disorganized. In the extra deck, Tornado Dragon, 41, an Exciton Knight, a number 90. Really didn't feel like I needed these guys. I feel like they can definitely be replaced. Although if I'm going to replace them, I would really like to have Quadrolus Harmonia. Only problem is that card is so expensive. It's just ridiculously expensive. I think it's $90 as of when I'm recording this video. For a single one, it's like $270 for a playset. You know what I could do with $270? I could get like 5 guys and get a large fries or something, you feel me? Other thing, I can cut down on the Albion. I just don't feel good running 3 cards and then one of them is always going to be a dud. Just don't feel good doing that. And then my side deck, it's a mess on this side deck here. I'll sculpt it better as I play more the locals and I understand what it is I need to bring against these guys. There was a lot of Mitsurugi, so I probably need to bring cards for the Mitsurugi mirror match, which Droll, of course, does that already. Actually, yeah, that's about it. There was a lot of Mitsurugi. I didn't play against any of the meta threats because I went 2-2. And yeah, let me talk about that now. So real quick, my record. My first match was up against Fiendsmith Elf Note. Yeah, these guys. And they bridged into Elf Notes, which they can do pretty easily thanks to this Fabled. There's this Fabled guy and then there was another synchro that he was using. And they both allowed the Fiendsmith to bridge. I went 2-0 against that deck. The MVP here were the Bestials. So what ended up happening was he would bridge into the Fiendsmith side, but when Engraver was in the grave and was trying to bring itself back, I would Bestial it, and now he just had a Necroquip sitting there, and he had just used his elf notes to bridge into the Fiendsmith, so he really didn't have all that much elf note stuff. He did also misplay quite a bit. If he hadn't misplayed as much as he did, he probably would have had me on those games because I also misplayed quite a bit. But yeah, I went second both games, but I ended up winning them. I actually felt way better going second. Just because since I didn't really know the combo lines all that well, it was better to play into a board and just adapt than it was for me to try to memorize the standard combo. In the second game, I lost 0-2 to Branded Dracotail. These new guys. Where is he? This new guy. He is really good. And the amount of gas that they have. Whew. And they just keep going. They don't stop. They just keep going and going and going. Wasn't really sure where to hit them, but it never felt like he was short on names, short on cards, short on extenders. It never felt like he was short on anything. I went 0-2. Now, one big thing is I kept misplaying. Even though I read the cards, I seem to have a lack of rating comprehension. I kept forgetting to special summon these guys back out when they were tributed. I don't know why in my mind, after reading the line where they can add a card, they could only special summon themselves back if they weren't tributed. I thought the first part cared about tributing, but then the second part didn't. I don't know what was going on in my mind there. So I kept messing up the combo, and I went 0-2. I went first twice. I won the die roll, and then I lost, and then I chose to go first again. That just didn't do good. Well, on the second one, there was nothing I could do. I opened Saji, and that's it. I just opened Saji and a bunch of hand traps. So it was Saji against the world. I sided in Imperm, and I sided in the Drolls, and I had opened up one of the Imperms. I had the Purification, and I had Fallen in the Virtuous and the Bestial. And so it was just Saji and this Bestial against the world. Now, if I had Chaos Angel, then on the following turn, if my Saji had lived, I'd be okay. I had ended up searching Prayers, so I was going to be sure that I could have a Saji. So I could have made Chaos Angel, but without Chaos Angel, there was really nothing I could do. Game 3, I went up against Mitsu Raizio. This is a deck I have not seen in a long time. These guys are still really good. A Detonator is so hard to deal with. Once the Detonator got out there with 3 bodies, I was just thinking, what can I do? Luckily, the guy I was playing against wasn't shotgunning Detonator, so I was able to make Typhon and get it out of here in game 1. I went 0-2 again, unfortunately. Even though I was able to out the Detonator, I got completely caught off guard by the Mitsurugi in the first game. So I was just focused on shutting down anything he could do with the Raizios, and then he showed Habakiri, and I was cooked. In the second game, I was just completely outplayed at every step of the way by Dimensional Shifter. He opened Dimension Shifter, and we just sat there for 2 turns, doing a whole lot of nothing. I had talents, so I was trying to play despite Shifter, and he hand trapped me. I think it was a Bell, and so I ended up talents to look at his hand, and he had 1 starter and 2 bricks, and so I got rid of his starter, and then he didn't open another card to help him at all, so he passed it over to me. I tried to play, I got hand trapped by what he had opened. Back over to him, he didn't open all that well again, or he didn't top deck all that well again, and he passed it back to me, and I tried to play, and then we got going. But yeah, Dimension Shifter was really annoying. I had lost a lot of names. And then after that, he just completely was able to stay ahead of me. He was just a better player. After Shifter was gone, he was able to finally open a card like, turn 5? He was finally able to see something. Turn 5 or 6. Best deck is really strong. Still able to put up bodies. And this card, Raizio Cross. I was trying to make a Tornado Dragon to get it out of here. I can deal with the monsters on board, but I can't deal with the Raizio Cross unless I have something to get rid of it, which was either the Harvest Feather or the Tornado Dragon, and I just could not get to either one of them. And then against game 4, my opponent vanished into the abyss. I have no idea what happened. I think they got a call and they had to leave. They didn't drop, I don't believe, and they just left. The round started. They weren't there. They were with someone, the person I had lost to. The person I had lost to, I'm pretty sure had a pretty good record. If they had won their next match, they'd be 3-1. So that'd be pretty good. It was only 4 rounds, so that's topping, and they could have gone to top 4. So I'm just guessing that some situation had come up and they had to leave. But yeah, I learned a lot about how inexperienced I am. I'm way out of it. In terms of playing in real life, playing online, I can play online pretty easily, but that's just because I don't have to do the sequences myself online. The sequences happen on their own, or if something doesn't go right, it tells me it doesn't go right. It's not like I can just misplay by not reading my cards or accidentally, cheating there, because you think your card does one thing, but it actually doesn't if you reread it. It's harder to do that online than it is in person. And then in person, of course, I'm going up against decks I have never seen before, or I haven't seen in a long time, like Fiendsmith Elf Note. That is not a deck I've come up against. I know it was a deck, but it wasn't at the forefront of my mind. I thought I was just going to be playing against pure Elf Note, or Elf Note with Medius, the pure and the power patron cards. That's what I was expecting. But Fiendsmith was not something I was expecting. Even though I play online, I don't play very much online. I'm very low on the ladder. I play on YGO Omega. I had not come up against that deck. But I did have fun. Caught up with a lot of people, talked about cards. I had a pretty successful time with trading. And real quick, I just want to talk about, I had some pretty good trades. There was one thing, I told a guy I had a Saint Antamina and it was $25. Turns out it is just $25 on direct. The actual market value is like $15 to $20 ish. See where we are. Market price is $14.29. Last one sold was $14.36. I don't know where they get the ego to charge double the price just because they're a direct store. So I had told the guy, oh yeah, the car's $25. It's not $25. It's like $15 at most. 19 if you want to go with someone a little bit more reputable, I guess, with shipping included. But yeah, I had spoken to that person. Another thing, while I was looking through my binder, Arthelion crashed like crazy. I have a Starlight Arthelion that I've been wanting to get rid of, and I was thinking about selling it day one, but I was like, nah, you know what? As the deck performs better, it's gonna go up in price. It has completely crashed, and I thought to myself, oh, maybe it's the OCG ones. No, these are all TCG ones. These are all TCG cards. This card is just completely crashed, and I should have moved it day one. Another card, Sea Monster of Theseus. I gotta look through my stuff and know I have one. I know I've had one because I've been setting it aside for this exact situation. Every time I would look at the card and I would tell myself, one day it will be your day to shine. And the day has finally come, and I know he's here somewhere, and I gotta move the card. I gotta sell it before it crashes in price. And while I was talking with people, speaking of super polymerization, what is going on here? I don't know what site I'm on here. But speaking of super polymerization, we are getting favorite hero Flame Moonman, which is two monsters with the same type and different attributes. We have Ship of Theseus with two tuners. We have Mudragon. We have Garura. Once September rolls around, we have a lot of super poly targets for a lot of different situations. So many different situations that I could cover. Super poly is just going to be all the way up. Does it beat the deck of cool tunes, and will it probably beat other decks? Probably not for a little while, but man, it's never been better to be super poly with all the targets. So many generic targets. And final thing, just what I want to talk about my deck and where I hope to be in the future with this. As I'm trading more cards and moving more stuff around, I hope I can get the Dominus cards. I definitely feel like I really want the Dominus cards, especially if I'm going to keep playing pure, cut down on the Sajis, maybe get rid of the Nibiru, change out my extra deck to get that Dominus Impulse. And what is it? Dominus Spark? Dominus Spark is probably not a card I'm going to be able to get, but I really want Dominus Impulse. It's just such a shame that for whatever reason, Dominus Impulse is only an ultra or higher. I don't know what's going on there. The Molcharmies, SP Little Knight, Appaloosa even, I believe. Actually, no, it wasn't Appaloosa. It was some other staple. Ash, like 4 times over now. Every single rarity. The Dominus cards, exclusively higher rarity, and so now they're expensive, even though they got reprinted in the one set that would have given them like $1 copies. So that's really annoying, and I really want to get them, but they're like 25 a copy right now. That's almost as much as I paid for the 3 modern decks. Other thing, Phaedralus Harmonia, I really hope the card comes down in price. That is a definite yes to getting that card if I can afford it. But man, 90 a pop, man, I don't know if I can justify. That's more than a booster box. That's more than the booster box it comes out of. Other than that, I might switch around this extra deck. Definitely gonna add Chaos Angel. Definitely gonna add Chaos Angel. Gonna sculpt my side deck a little better, especially for Mitsurugi mirror matches. There's just a lot of Mitsurugi at my locals, it seems like, but definitely for the Mitsurugi mirror matches. And I might try variants. I want to try the Sky Striker variant, as it comes with the modern deck, or I might just try pure Sky Striker. I also want to try the Yummy variant, because it works. The way they hit Yummy doesn't really affect the Mitsurugi Yummy, and with the new Sky Striker monster that was in the structure modern decks, the bridge is back. Maybe going with that as well. I'm just not sure. Maybe I keep practicing with this and just edit my ratios to be better and add some more better hand traps or board breakers. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy. I'm glad I was able to go back to locals. It was fun to be back. It was fun to catch up. I definitely missed going to locals. I was a little nervous being back after what felt like a little over a year, because I wasn't going to know the deck all that well. I wasn't going to play all that well, and I hadn't caught up with these people for a while. But it felt like being back at home. I had played at that locals for a few years, and I kept going even though I wasn't playing. I would go every now and then just to check up on stuff or just to watch some games, and it felt good to actually play again. I felt comfortable. I didn't feel exhausted. I didn't feel terrible after making my mess plays. I felt like I was learning. So I'm glad on that. I'm glad to have gone back. And if you guys have any advice on editing my deck, maybe a good engine to bridge this with, maybe a recommendation for another deck I should try, within a reasonable price, of course. I'm not trying to spend too much on Yu-Gi-Oh right now. I really want to hold off on buying anything Yu-Gi-Oh related until the Magnificent Monolithus comes out. I'm so excited for that set. But it's only looking up from here. Can't wait to record more of these. I can't wait to see my improvement compared to week 1 all the way to week... Who knows? Who knows how long I'll be playing this game. But yeah, thank you for watching. You guys have a good one.